Hello, people. Well, another video again, and this time is to speak about connectors of reason, contrast, purpose, and result. First of all, it is very important that you understand that we use this kind of connectors when we are actually connecting two ideas, right? That is the purpose of the connectors. The more natural way of talking is using connectors. If you happen to think about this, we never say, for example, I woke up, I had breakfast, I got dressed, I went to school. We never say that, right? We always speak more naturally. We connect sentences, right? We don't say, I went to the gym. It was raining. I was tired. You say, even though I was tired, I went to the gym, right? You connect sentences all the time. This is the most natural way of speaking, right? So when we want to sound natural, we need to use connectors, all right? We have different kind of connectors, right? To connect different ideas, right? The reasons why we use connectors can be contrast, to connect to contrasting ideas, dos ideas que se contraponen. The contrast connectors are although, however, whereas, apart from, instead of, despite, in spite of. With all of this, you can have contrasting ideas together. Yes? Contrasting, two ideas contrasting. Then we have the reason connectors. The reason connectors are because, since, as, due to, because of. There are some others. Owing to, right? But it's okay. Purpose, the purpose of something, not the reason, but the purpose. Sometimes it's very difficult to tell one from the other, and maybe they can be used one instead of the other, but it's not exactly the same, right? Okay, what are the purpose connectors? So that, for, in order to. In order to is the same as saying to, right? I bought an agenda in order to organize my year, right? In order to organize my year. But yeah, I can say to organize the year, right? So as to organize the year. So as to is more formal. So if you're going to write, maybe you can use in order to or so as to instead of to. Simple. Yes? Then connectors of result. Yes, one thing, and then you have the result, and you use these connectors. As a consequence, therefore, for this reason, as a result of this, right? Why is it that they are divided into three main categories or lines or whatever? Because these are going to, all of this, yes, although, however, all of this are going to be used with a clause. What is the meaning of this? That after them, or when we are using them, we are going to use clauses. What is a clause? Is a subject and a verb, right? That is a clause. The others are different. So we need to pay attention. Sometimes we can say exactly the same thing, but if we are using the other connectors, we are going to change the structure of the sentence. This is what you need to remember for the test. All right? Why? Because you will have one connector and they are going to tell you to use the other. For example, you're going to have although, and they are going to tell you to use despite. Same kind of connector, different structure. Or you're going to have because, and they are going to tell you to use because of or due to. And you need to be able to change the structure of your ideas to fit the correct structure, combination, right? Very good. I'm going to write examples with some of them so that you can see the difference, right? Very good. There you go. Give me a minute. Okay, so you need to remember that depending on the connector, you will have different structures, right? I always do this, but I think it's never enough. I will write in a smaller letter, I guess. Yes, give me a minute. Okay, so let's think about the connector that we have and the structure. Yes? Connector, of course, they don't mean exactly the same, so you also need to remember that, right? Although and however are similar, but they are not exactly the same, right? Let's go with although and however, right? I will write. I will try to respect the same kind of ideas, right? So that I'm going to make this smaller so that you can see everything. Maybe there. Okay, let's go with although. Then we will go reason, purpose, whatever. Okay. Although, okay. Although, yes. Although everyone was celebrating, this is a contrast, right? I decided to stay at home, right? I'm talking about me, the Grinch of football, the football Grinch. So although everyone was celebrating, I decided to stay home. Here with although, we always have like the two ideas together. Yes, generally although goes at the beginning, and the contrast here is everyone was celebrating, I stayed at home. Contrast. I'm going to have the same idea with however, for you to understand the structure, right? I will write. Everyone was celebrating. This is how we use however. Stop. However, comma, always, I decided to stay at home. Right? All right? Although everyone was celebrating, I decided to stay at home. And everyone was celebrating. However, I decided to stay at home are exactly the same in meaning. All right? Now, clause. No problem. I will use despite instead of although, but with the same meaning. So another one. I can actually use although or whereas, and it would be in this case exactly the same. Look. Of course, it's a different meaning. In the first one, although means aunque. Aunque todos estaban celebrando, yo decidí quedarme en casa. If you say whereas, you would say, mientras todos estaban celebrando, yo decidí quedarme en casa. It is exactly the same. I think with whereas is more a comparison than a contrast. El significado es más una comparación que un contraste, pero igual es correcto, right? Let's go with despite. Of course, apart from are instead of podría ser, instead of celebrating, I decided to stay at home. I will write all of them. Instead of celebrating, pay attention that you have a noun or a verb with ing. Instead of celebrating, I decided to stay at home. You see, same meaning, no problem. Let's go with despite. Despite, I will write with a noun for you to see the difference. Despite all the celebrations, I decided to stay at home. You see? Here you have all the different combinations only with contrast. All right? Now we're going to go with reason, let's say. Let's go with reason. I will erase, I'm sorry. If you want to write down, or if you want to, whatever, play pause and write down all the examples so that you can understand, right? I will erase and I will go with reason. There. There. Oh, here we go again. There. Okay, reason. Because I okay, I decided to stay at home. At home, yes, because ahora ya no es lo mismo que antes, ¿sí? Ahora voy a marcar la razón. Seguimos con el mismo tópico. La razón por la que me quedé en casa, right? I decided to stay at home because I don't enjoy crowded places. Yes? What is the meaning of this? ¿Qué significa lo que estoy diciendo? Decidí quedarme en casa porque no disfruto, which is real, crowded places, right? No disfruto los lugares con mucha gente, ¿sí? No me siento bien, right? So, I decided to stay at home because I don't enjoy crowded places. What happens now? I want to, instead of using because in this sentence, I can use since or as, and it's completely the same. I decided to stay at home since I don't enjoy crowded places. Or I decided to stay at home as I don't enjoy crowded places. No problems. The problem will come if I want to use due to or because of, right? So I can say, I decided to stay at home. I need to change the structure because now I need a verb with ing. I decided to stay at home, or the noun, yes, because of my dislike of crowded places. Yes? I know it sounds confusing because you have many, many words. Puede parecer confuso, o yo me entiendo que puede parecer confuso porque hay muchas, muchas palabritas, pero, the huge but, we need to understand that here, even though here I have all this is not a clause. Aunque parecería que es, porque es una parte más larga de la oración, sigue siendo un simple sustantivo. ¿Sí? Tiene muchas frasecitas, muchas partecitas, pero es un sustantivo. ¿Sí? I decided to stay at home because of, y el sustantivo es dislike. Por mi disgusto. Punto. ¿Ok? Parece que fueran muchas cosas, pero acá no hay verbos. Crowded es un adjetivo. So I decided to stay at home because of my dislike of crowded places, right? Instead of using because of, podríamos usar due to my dislike of crowded places, y sería exactamente lo mismo, ¿sí? Es un sustantivo. Esto nos pasa mucho, que cuando vemos muchas palabritas pensamos que deja de ser un sustantivo o nos olvidamos cuál es el sustantivo. Esto nos pasa un montón, pero no. Hay que pensar, ¿hay un verbo en esa frase? No. Si no hay un verbo, es un sustantivo. Lo que pasa es que es una frase con sustantivo, right? Okay, good. I will go with what? ¿Con qué vamos ahora? Ya explicamos although, however, tendríamos que encontrar purpose, right? So I'm going to erase this. Voy a borrar esto otra vez. Oh my God. And we are going to use purpose. Very good. I'm going to use the example I said before. Voy a usar el ejemplo que dije antes, right? About my agenda. Come on. There. Okay. I bought an agenda so that, y ven lo que dice ahí, clause, I could organize my year, right? I bought an agenda, first idea. Recuerden, vuelvo al tema que siempre son dos ideas. I bought an agenda, first idea, so that the connector, I could organize my year, the clause, right? One clause, so that another clause. Una idea, so that otra idea. What is it now? I can also use for, right? So we're going to do that. We're going to use for. The same idea. I bought an agenda. Me imagino que ya, si vieron que dice verbo con ing, ya sabemos que podemos poner, right? I bought an agenda for organizing my year. All right? Perfect. You can say for the organization of my year. Perfect. No problem. Podemos usar organizing o podemos usar un sustantivo, the organization. No problem. Right? In order to or so as to. ¿Qué voy a usar acá? Solo el verbo en infinitivo. Ya podrán adivinar que el verbo acá es organizar. So I would say, I bought an agenda so as to organize my year. You see, the same idea with three different connectors. All right? No problem with that. Remember, lo que voy a necesitar saber en el examen y en cualquier examen, in first also, is what are the different structures, right? Because I will need to transform. Siempre voy a tener que transformar. Me van a pedir que tengo uno y me van a pedir que use el otro. Siempre. Que diga lo mismo de otra manera. Entonces, eso es lo que estamos haciendo. Decir lo mismo de otra manera. ¿Sí? Con so that, clause. Con for, ing. Con so as to or in order to, which is the same. Verbo en infinitivo solito. ¿Sí? Sin nada más. Ok. I will erase this. No sé si hacer la última o no, but I guess you need the last one. All right. Vamos con as a consequence. No, result, sorry. And there you go. Okay. I'm thinking about the consequence. Okay. I couldn't. I didn't. Oh. There. I didn't practice for the test, as a consequence, very formal, right? I know. As a consequence, I failed, right? No sé qué escribí mal. Okay. I didn't practice for the test. One idea. The result, I failed. Yes? To put all these two sentences together, I used as a consequence, right? Podría ser directamente, I didn't practice for the test. Therefore, I failed. No problem. I didn't practice for the test. For this reason, I failed. ¿Sí? Este I failed is a clause. ¿Por qué es una clause? Aunque sea cortita. It's a subject and a verb. No problem. Let's write as a result of, or let's use as a result of. In this case, as you may imagine, ¿sí? Porque la frase te lo dice, se darán cuenta, I need to invert, yes, the ideas, right? No voy a poder usarlas en el mismo orden, porque as a result es como resultado de, right? De, como resultado de. Así que la causa va a ir primero, right? But I will go on with the same idea. So, in this case, ¿cuál es la causa? El causal de por el que fallé? I didn't practice. So, I would say, I failed my test as a result of, y ahora tengo dos opciones, sustantivo o verbo con ing. If I want to use a noun, si tengo que usar un sustantivo, voy a decir, I failed my test as a result of my, o directamente no, no, my queda mejor, my lack of practice. Digo lo mismo que dije antes, ¿sí? Aunque es una frase larga, no es una clause. ¿Por qué? Porque es falta de práctica, no hay verbo, right? ¿Por qué practice en el primero tiene S y acá tiene C? Because practice en el primero es un verbo and practice here is a noun, ¿sí? Okay, so I failed my test as a result of, y después un sustantivo, my lack of practice. Sí, les doy esa que esta es más difícil, right? What about a verb with ing? I will try to use it with a verb with ing. I will write it the other way around. El orden no altera el producto, así que yo podría decir as a result of my lack of practice, I failed my test. Estaría perfecto. Y ahora de hecho lo voy a usar al revés. As a result, result. I have to check that. As a result of, no, sorry. Yes, of not practicing, porque no puedo usar el auxiliar, porque solo puedo usar verbos con ing. Entonces, not practicing, acá sí es un verbo. As a result of not practicing, I failed my test. All right? So I hope this is help. Just think about ideas that are true for yourself and use the connectors, right? No sé ejemplos de ningún otro lugar, simplemente cosas que me vinieron a la mente, and you can do exactly the same to practice, all right? Then, of course, after this, I think you have exercises, right? So do the exercises, all right? I will stop sharing now and I'll stop the meeting. Bye-bye.